beautiful Dolly family. Welcome back to Southern Reborn's Nursery. I'm your beautiful host, Monica, and today, you guys, is October 1st. And today was the last day to enter the 500 subscriber giveaway. So sometime this week, I will be getting that video together so we can all find out who the winner is. And we are also going to be changing Little Miss Farrah out of her springy little outfit, which is pink, and it has this lace all over it with little white daisies with little pink glitter in the middle of the daisies, her white frilly socks, and her little white bow. We're going to change her out of that into something a little more fallish. And you guys, I have a story to tell you guys. Now, I'm gonna put in the title of this video that it is scary story time, and that way, you know, anybody who doesn't want to watch the video can just skip the video. But I'm going to share with you guys an experience that happened to me when I was probably late teens, early 20s. And you know, as a matter of fact, I was 17, you guys, when this experience happened to me, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So we're going to do that. All right, you guys, I have a shout out before we begin. And this is a new channel. Her name is Rainbow, and her channel is named Rainbow. And I will link her channel information in the description so you guys can go over there and show her some love and support. I watched her video, which was her introductory video, like, you know, telling everybody a little bit about herself. And her story really touched me, and I hope that you guys will go over and show her some support. Okay, so we have these cute little rose pants. They have green trim, and they have these rust colored roses. I want to say they're roses, but I might be wrong. I'm not sure what kind of flower that is, but it has two different types of flowers, and they are rust colored and yellow, and the leaves have this pea green and this teal colored leaves, and it's just really pretty. And those are the pants, and the onesie that goes with these pants is a green color. What color green is this, you guys? I want to say it's like an army green color, and the sleeves have ruffles, and it has three white buttons. Get it together, Monica. White buttons going down the front. So we're going to put that on her, and I haven't decided on which color bow yet. I do have this yellow bow or this brown bow, and I might go with the brown one. I don't know, you guys. We'll see what colors look good on her, because Farrah is very fair-skinned, so we'll see. But let's get to it, you guys, because I'm excited. I've been wanting to tell you guys my experiences since I brought them up last. And okay, so you guys, when I was 17, that's how old I was. I was married to my ex-husband because we were high school sweethearts, and I was pregnant with my first son, Aiden, who is now 26. I know, you guys, time flies by. But anyway, so my ex-husband had an older brother, and his brother was selling their house, and he was going through a divorce, and he was selling everything out of the house. And he asked my husband, is there anything, you know, in the house that you would want? And so my husband asked me, you know, is there anything that you want out of the house? And I was like, you know what, that mirror, because, you know, the mirror in the living room, I like the mirror. So the mirror, they had this beautiful mirror in their living room. It was like this really thick gold trim rectangular mirror. It was so pretty, you guys. I was like, yeah, get the mirror. And he was like, okay. So he brings the mirror home one day. And you guys, let me tell you. So I had him put the mirror in the corner of our room, and I had him stand it up, right? Because I was like, we could use it to check ourselves out in, like when we're getting dressed and stuff. And he's like, okay. So he puts the mirror in the corner of the room. Everything's fine for a few days. No big deal. My mom was away. My mom was in Fort Lauderdale with my dad. They had gone away for a weekend, and so it was just me at the house while my ex-husband was working. So anyway, because we were staying with my mom at that time. So my husband slept on the right side. I slept on the left side, closer to the windows in our bedroom. And at first, like I said, nothing happened. The second night, I thought something pulled the blanket off of me, and I just thought that it was my husband pulling on the blanket, right? So I'm like, oh, this is aggravating. So I didn't say anything the first night. Night 3, again, I feel like somebody is pulling the blanket off of my feet, and I'm like, what is going on? So I reach over, right? Like I'm half asleep, and I reach over to see if he's laying right next to me, and he's not. And I'm like, what? So I roll over, I look, and he's way on the other end of the bed, you guys. And so I was like, okay. So I just pulled the blanket back over my feet, rolled over, went back to sleep. So night 4, you guys. Night 4. We go to bed, and I feel like somebody is touching my feet. And I'm like, what is going on? So I thought maybe my husband was like rubbing his feet up against my feet. And I was like, oh, I'm like, stop, And he didn't say anything. I fall back asleep. Then again, a few hours later, what felt like a few hours later, I feel like somebody is rubbing their fingers on my feet like this. I don't even know if you can see my hand. Like this, right? This is the bottom of your foot, and it feels like somebody's rubbing my feet on the bottom of my foot. And I'm like, stop. And he's like, what? And I turn over, and he's way on the other side of the bed, you guys. I'm like, I'm like, stop. Were you just touching my feet? He's like, no, what are you talking about? I'm like, somebody was just touching my feet. And he's like, well, it wasn't me. He's like, go back to sleep. And so, I'm like, go back to sleep? Like, what are you talking about? Like, somebody was just rubbing my feet. And he's like, no. He's like, maybe my foot glanced your foot, and that's what it was. And I'm like, okay. So, I try my best to go back to bed, and I'm just laying there, and I just get this feeling like something's not right. Like, I'm just laying there, and I'm like, something's not right here. But I just push it out of my head, and I fall back asleep. Night 5, you guys. So he came home from work late. I stayed awake because I was waiting on him to get home, because I don't like to sleep by myself, you guys. I really don't. So I stayed up, and I waited for him to come home. He came home, and we stayed up talking a little bit and this and that. And he fell asleep. So I turned off the TV, and I, tried to go to sleep. I wasn't all the way asleep this time, and you guys, something yanked the blanket off of me. Like, yanked, you guys. I don't even know if you can see my hands because of the way I have my camera set up, but like yanked the blanket off of me. And I jumped up, and I said, Abram, wake up. And he's like, what? And I'm like, wake up. And he's like, what? What's wrong? He jumps out of bed. He's like, are you in labor? And I'm like, no. Because, you guys, I was really like big pregnant. Like, I was going to pop any day kind of pregnant. And I'm like, something just yanked the blanket off the bed. He's like, no. And I'm like, yes. Like, I'm serious. Like, please believe me. Like, something just yanked the blanket off of the bed. And he's like, looking around. And, obviously there's nothing that could possibly yank the blanket off the bed. So I'm freaking out, right? And I'm like, what am I gonna do, right? He's like, just go back to bed. Just come here, come here. And he was holding me, and he wrapped his arms around me, and he covered us up, and he just kind of sat, and we sat there, and we're laid there, and we were talking, and he's like, just try to go to sleep, it'll be all right. And I'm like, okay. So, I'm like freaked out, and so it took me a while to go to sleep. So the next morning, I called my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I'm like, Nunny gave us this mirror. I was like, and I brought it in the house, and I put it in our room. I was like, and Mom, something has been touching my feet. I was like, and last night, something yanked the blanket off of us while we were sleeping. And she's like, what? She's like, where'd you put it? And I was like, I brought it inside and I put it in the room. I'm like, it's in my room in the corner. And she was like, it was kind of weird because she was like, okay, where'd you get the mirror? And then I told her, I was like, Nunny gave us this mirror. I was like, and Abram brought it home. I put it in the room. I was like, and, now something's touching my feet. My mom said, you need to take the mirror out of the house. And I'm like, I'm not touching that mirror, Mom. She said, you need to have Abram take the mirror outside. And I was like, well, why? And she's like, just get the mirror out of the house. She's like, you should have never brought that mirror in before praying for it. And I'm like, praying for it? Why would you need to pray for it? Right? I was like, I don't understand. And she's like, what else has happened? And I'm like, well, that's pretty much it. I was like, the feeling like, I don't know about this bow, you guys. The outfit is looking really cute on her, though. Anyway, I was like, other than the touching of the feet and the blanket getting yanked off, like, I have been feeling like somebody is watching me. No, you guys, I don't like the yellow either. I'm just going to stick with the brown. I told her, other than, the fact that somebody was touching my feet and ripping the blanket off of us, that I did feel as though something was watching me. And she said, okay. She said, well, me and your dad will be home in a couple hours. She's like, and I'll pray for the mirror, and we're going to have to pray for the house. And I was like, why? And she's like, because she said, you never bring in anything that was given to you, no matter who gave it to you, or anything that you bought at a thrift store or a Goodwill. She said, you never bring those things in your home until you pray the blood of Jesus over those items. And I was like, Mom, I was like, and it just really bothered me because I knew my whole life I was raised to pray, to have this relationship with God. And, I guess being a teenager and being pregnant, I wasn't thinking. I was just like, oh, my brother-in-law gave us this mirror. So I didn't think about it, you guys. And, the thing about my ex-brother-in-law, when they were young, him and his wife, his ex-wife, they went through a lot of problems. They had a lot of problems, and, it was just a lot of domestic violence and other things that I'm not going to get into, but I didn't think about it. And those things, those negative things might have been attached to that mirror because it was in the living room, the main area of their home where their family spent time, where most of their fights and everything else happened. And I didn't think about it, you guys. And I brought something into my house. And so when my husband got home from work, I told him he needed to take the mirror outside. So we did. And when my mom and dad got there, they prayed for the mirror, they prayed for me, and they prayed for our house. And after that, my mom brought the mirror back inside, put it in the living room, and never had another problem out of that mirror, you guys. But that was so scary to me. It freaked me out. I'm just so grateful that my mom knew what to do, because I didn't. I wasn't thinking. And so, yeah, you got more of the story. If anybody gives you anything, you guys, if you are a believer in the Lord Jesus Christ, pray for that stuff. Even now, with buying and trading babies, I pray for every baby that comes in my home before it comes in my home. I pray that there is no negative spirits attached to it. I pray against any and all demonic forces, and I cast them down into captivity and unto the obedience of the Lord Jesus Christ, you guys. That's what I do, because you just never know. You know, you don't know what the artist who is painting this beautiful doll, what their beliefs are, what they do, what they don't do. You just don't know. And then with trading babies, the same thing. You know, spirits like to attach themselves to things. And so anything, even an innocent doll, could become a vessel. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important that you pray for these things, for anything, before you bring it in your house, you guys. Look at this beautiful girl. Look at Farrah looking so cute, you guys. She is ready for fall. She said she's been waiting and she's excited. Look at my girl, you guys. She's stunning. I love this baby. I am so grateful to have her. She is beautiful. She is the Alexis kit, and I think she's by Cassie Brace. I'm not sure. You guys, I'm not real familiar with all of the different sculptors and things, but this little girl is my baby that I love her so very much. My little Farrah. I called her Farrah. I named her Farrah because she is very her skin tone is very fair. She has these little bitty blonde peach fuzz baby hairs on her face. Her hair is blonde and she is just beautiful, you guys. Look at my girl. Oh, she's a stunner. So anyways, you guys, that is my spooky story for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to be praying for you. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. And you guys, like the video. You guys are doing amazing. You're commenting and you've been sharing my videos. But you guys, you got to like the video too, you guys. I really appreciate you all, though, because without you guys, we wouldn't be here. And it wouldn't be as much fun without all of you. And we really appreciate all of your support. So go like this video, you guys. We'll see you in our next one. Bye.